clouds high. The birds...
Fate is upon you.
Ha! Shouldn't let your guard down.
Hello everybody, my name's Childe Sam. I make waifu over meta content, but in today's video, I'm going to be using my name and giving you some Hydro over meta content today. I do want to let you know that I have a special place for this duo in my heart. Back in my early AR 40 days, this was the first team I ever took to Spiral Abyss, and it also carried me until AR 50 when I realized I had had enough, and I told Childe, sorry man, I'm waifu over meta now, so you're going to be benched. Anyways, you didn't click on this video to hear me speak about my history. You want to know why this duo is good and the many variations there are to play this team, because honestly, it's really fun, it's really good, and it's a really easy team to play. In this video, I'm going to talk about the variations of this duo, builds, and roles I have for each character, as well as rotations, and I will end this video with some satisfying gameplay from the Spiral Abyss. So please Hydro smack that like button because it only takes a fraction of a second and it truly does help the video more than you think. So I'd appreciate it if you take the time to do it. And now that that's out of the way, without further ado, let's get into the video. In today's video, we will be using the following builds for my characters. We have our lovely sub DPS Mona with our Lost Prayer Seeker wins for consistency. Her artifact set is going to be a Seared Fate, Constellation 4, and Triple Crown because you already know what channel you're on. And here are her stats as well. 74 crit rate, 152 crit damage, 211 energy recharge, 96 higher damage bonus, 1983 attack. Our main DPS Childe is going to have the Polar Star that just came out, but there are some clips where I'm using the R5 Rust, and I will be coming out with a video that will compare these two weapons in detail, so if you're interested in that, don't forget to hit the notification bell so that way you won't miss out on that video. Our Childe's artifacts are going to be a Heart of Depth and Noblesse Oblige, Constellation 1, 7, 8, 9 talents, 2000 attack, 75 crit rate, and 167 crit damage. Bennett is just Bennett. 5-star weapon, Noblesse, C5, 10 level 12. There's really not much to it. Xiangling will be our other sub DPS with an R3 Skyward Spine because I just don't feel like fishing for an R5 to catch. We have an Emblem of Seared Fate for her. C6, 10's level 2, 7, and 9. Guys, I promise I will keep raising Xiangling in the future. But if you want to try and rip me a new one in the comments, then go ahead. Roast me all you want. For the animal slot, we either have C0 Venti, Favonius Warble, Viridescent Veneer. He's not really that built. He's only 60 out of 70, and my talents are only 442. So he's not really that built. Sucrose is also not that well built. 8-8, C6, Viridescent, of course. And then we're just giving her as much EM as possible. But right now, my EM artifacts are on my C0 Kazuha. So Kazuha and Sucrose share the same kind of artifacts. Kazuha is with the Iron Sting. Constellation 0. Talents 442, the same as Venti. None of these animal characters are heavily invested because they're just mainly there to gather up enemies and lower their resistance with Viridescent Veneer. But now that the builds are out of the way, let's jump into the teams and the rotations. So obviously, since Mona and Childe are both going to be on a team, we want to take advantage of Vaporize. The most popular Childe build is probably the nuke one-shot setup. This is the best damage per screenshot team you can get, and there's nothing wrong with trying to use this team on Spiral Abyss. You can clear floors in like under 5 seconds if you're willing to restart and try to get your best run. I say this because a lot of videos you see of Childe doing such huge amounts of burst damage looks good to you, but the thing is their crit rate is bad and they only show when they're able to pull it off and land a critical hit. If you want a more viable everyday setup, you just have to sacrifice damage in order to increase your crit rate and consistency, which I will be doing in this video just to show you it is possible to use and it's not bad. Right here we can see we're applying Wet with Mona. Sucrose do her thing to lower the resistance, gives Elemental Mastery. Bennett to just cause Vaporize, and then we give a boost to Childe and does a Vaporize. The thing about Mago Kenki that sucks is that his first phase doesn't let him take more damage than he needs to, I guess. So we fast forward to when it's time for Mona to use her burst. We set it up the same way with Sucrose. And we do our Mona burst. And we wait 2 seconds for the ICD. Then we pop the bubble and we get 400k damage. So that is almost half of it already done. We fast forward the boring part where we're trying to get more energy recharge or basically our burst back with Mona and Childe. And by the time we do get our burst, it's probably already too late because we already did so much damage. So we do a quick Vaporize with Childe at 150k. And it's time for Mona to do her little burst. And with Mago Kenki's his resistance to interruption we don't actually pop the bubble with Mona, and we actually just kill Mago Kenki with a charge attack. If for some reason you don't have an animal character, you can always add Xiangling to this team, and it turns this team into a non-stop vaporize, whether it's a normal vaporize or a reverse vaporize. We are sacrificing some crowd control by not having Sucrose, Venti, or Kazuha on this team, but Mona still provides crowd control for the team, which can still help you push your Spiral Abyss. In the clip you're seeing, our Childe is using R5 Rust, and we are constantly applying vaporizes, whether it's coming from Tartaglia, Mona, or Xiangling. If it's coming from Xiangling, it's a reverse vape, and it's because, you know, Mona and Tartaglia are constantly applying the Hydro element to Mago Kenki. But there are times where the Pyro application is beating the Hydro application, whether it's with Bennett and Xiangling's Pyro Wheel. And those are the times that you can take advantage by using Tartaglia's Burst, because it is easy to set up, or you can have just a short little setup with Mona's Burst. But either way, this team is pretty consistent against like solo enemies for sure. And in Spiral Abyss, most of these floors are just solo enemies or very few enemies. So this team is pretty strong that you can use right now. So yeah, speaking of Abyss, what I just said, there's really no need for crowd control besides floor 12, first half, chamber 1. The rest of the floors either have a small amount of enemies, or there are bosses like Mago Kenki or the physical hypostasis. With that being said, the current Abyss right now can be destroyed by Mona and Childe Vaporize team. However you choose to play it, whether it's the one we showed earlier or this build right here. Some last things I will say is if you want to change this team to like a Morgana team where Childe would replace Ganyu, I mean, it's definitely doable, but the value of the team goes down because there's honestly no benefit to having double Hydro on your team. It is literally the most useless team resonance in the whole freaking entire game. I wish they would buff it just like they did for Geo, but until then, it just sucks, and I honestly just hate it. So because of that reason, the same can be said about turning this team into an Electrocharge team where yes, it could work, but you can get more value by separating the two units, Mona and Childe, and just putting in something else or putting them on a different team. Anyways, in conclusion, this video is all about showcasing why Mona and Childe on the same team can be good. I'm not telling you to do this, but being able to have two units that are able to achieve high numbers with their burst is always great to take advantage of. And if you enjoyed the video, please smack the like button and leave a comment for the algorithm, or if I miss anything, you can always let me know down in the comments as well. Anyways, I love you all so much, and remember, Hydro over meta, and enjoy the rest of the video.
Another test subject. Go in! Think you can get away? Written in the stars. Here we go. Let's light it up. Everybody stand. Time for takeoff. Fate is upon you. You can run.
Is why did them all for a chance at least to live in your way. Love
Everybody
you
stand back.
is my
Fate is upon
most
you.
cherished thing. So stay alive, breathe.
Off we go. Let's light it up.
Riptide.
Delve into destiny. Let's light it up.
No time to lose.
Teamwork is dreamwork.
I wish I could wake up that we reached I dream
Let your guard down.
Everybody stand decided like this.
never let you go. Is what I did. Is is